this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Sunday, the 28th of February. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar. It's a positive start to the day. Gonna need to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 46,582. to take a run at the first major resistance level, so 48,063. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 48,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on, they expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 48,407 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target 50,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 49,889. Better to move back through the pivot. We'll bring the 23.6% fib at 45,501 back into play and the first major support level at 44,756. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should still well clear of sub 43s. Second major support level at 43,275 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bearish histograms after yesterday's late bearish cross, but nothing suggestive of a bullish morning ahead, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, the 50 has pulled back marginally from the 100 and the 200. That's also a bearish signal. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot of 46,582 and back through to 48,000 levels. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, mixed start to the day here. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 1469 to take a run at the first major resistance level, say at 1518. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 1500 levels. So barring an extended rally on, they expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1526.82 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, we got the second major resistance level at 1576 and the 23.6% fib at 1579 to cap the upside. Failure to move back through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 1411 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should steer clear of the 38.2% fib at 1292. Second major support level at 1362 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we got a bearish cross this morning, suggestive some downside through the early part of the day, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, the 50 has also pulled back marginally from the 100 and the 200, also a bearish signal. So failure to move back through the pivot at 1469 will bring support levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also a mixed start to the morning. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 173.24 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 179.25. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from 175 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high to cap any upside. Yesterday's high was at 180.48. In the event of an extended rally, we've got the second major resistance level at 186.49 and resistance at 190 that would likely come into play. 23.6% fib sits at 195. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 166 into play and the 38.2% fib at 163. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of 160. Second major support level at 160 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, slight widening of the bearish histogram after yesterday's late bearish cross, supporting the slight pullback this morning. On the EMA, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, so inconclusive there. Key through the early part of the day, therefore, move through the pivot at 173.24 and through to 175 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's a mixed start to the day here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.4408 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.4541. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.45 levels. So barring an extended crypto rally, they expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.45856 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP break through the 38.2% fib at 0.4632 to target the second major resistance level at 0.4719 before any pullback. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 0.4231 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub 0.40 levels. Second major support level at 0.4098 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we got a widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's late bearish cross. On the EMAs, the 50 has pulled back marginally from the 100 and the 200, also giving a bearish signal. So failure to move through the pivot at 0.4408 and back through to 0.45 levels would leave support levels in play.